They whispered about you. They thought they could keep you in the shadows, talking behind your back like you didn't know, like you didn't hear. They thought they could hold you down, diminish you, make you small. Every murmur, every mocking word, every secret laugh, they thought it was harmless. They thought it would break you, but they didn't know who they were messing with. They didn't understand the power they were playing with. See, they made one fatal mistake. They underestimated you, and now they're paying the price. Because the whispers, they've turned into screams. They thought they could bury you in silence. But you were never meant to stay quiet. You were never meant to be forgotten. And every whisper they thought would break you, it only fueled the fire inside you. You hear it now, don't you? The screams, the cries, the desperation. They don't have a choice anymore. They thought they could hide behind their words, behind their falsehoods. But now they can't run. Now they can't escape. Now they scream your name. And they wish they never even dared to whisper. You've heard it all, haven't you? The doubts, the lies, the mockery. You've been the target of their ridicule, the subject of their jokes. You were the one they laughed at. You were the one they tried to break. But guess what? You're not broken. Far from it. They tried to take you down, tried to crush your spirit, tried to push you into a corner. But they forgot one thing they'll never be able to undo. You're not someone they can control. You're not someone they can destroy. You didn't fold under pressure. You didn't crumble under the weight of their words. Instead, you turned that pressure into power. You took the insults, the doubts, the negativity they threw at you, and you used it to sharpen yourself. You took their hate and turned it into fuel. Every whisper, every joke, every little jab they aimed at you, it didn't break you. It built you. It made you stronger. It made you unstoppable. You took their words, their lies, their cruelty, and you molded them into something beautiful. You transformed it all into a weapon, and now you're the one holding the blade. The thing they never saw coming, the thing they never prepared for, was the rise of someone they thought they could crush. They thought that by whispering, by talking down to you, they could erase you, but instead they made you. They forged you in fire, and now you are the one they have to face. Now you're the one they have to reckon with. The whispers have turned to screams because they can't ignore you anymore. They can't pretend you don't matter. They can't hide from the fact that you've become something they can't control. And let me tell you something, they hate it. They hate that you're still here, standing tall, standing strong. They hate that every little bit of pain, every ounce of suffering they threw your way, only made you more dangerous. It's their own fault. They wanted you to break. They wanted you to crumble under the pressure of their words, their whispers. But instead you grew. You grew into something they couldn't have imagined in their wildest dreams. You're a force now, a storm they can't escape, a power they never saw coming. And that's why they scream. They scream because they realize they made the biggest mistake of their lives. They thought they could control you. They thought they could silence you. But you're louder now than ever before. And the louder you get, the more terrified they become. The best part, you didn't have to scream to get their attention. You didn't have to beg for their recognition. You didn't have to plead for their validation. You just kept moving. You kept rising above their petty whispers. And in the end, you didn't need them to see you for who you are. You don't need their approval. You never did. You've always known your worth. You've always known what you're capable of. You just needed to show them. You didn't need to scream. Your actions spoke louder than any words they could say. Your strength, your resolve, your will to keep going. That's what made them scream your name. That's what made them realize they were wrong about you. And now, as they scream your name, they wish they never underestimated you. They thought you were weak. They thought you were nothing. But look at you now. You're not the one cowering in the shadows. You're the one standing tall in the light. You're the one who turned the whispers into roars. They wanted to push you down, but now they see you can't be contained. You can't be stopped. You're not just a survivor. You're a conqueror. You're not just someone who gets by. You're someone who rises, no matter how many times they try to bring you down. And now they scream your name, because they know they've lost. They've lost because they made the mistake of thinking you were weak. They made the mistake of thinking you couldn't handle what they threw at you. They made the mistake of thinking you'd fade away. And now they have to face the consequences of their ignorance. You're not the one who's fading. You're the one who's burning brighter. They tried to bury you, but instead they gave you the fuel to ignite the world. And as they scream your name, remember this: they made you the unstoppable force you are today. They gave you the strength to stand tall. They gave you the power to rise. They gave you the fire to burn everything down. And now they'll watch as you take everything that once belonged to them. They'll watch as you take back everything they tried to steal from you. And they'll scream your name, but it won't be out of hate. It'll be out of fear. Because now they know you're not just a whisper, you're a roar, and they'll never be able to drown you out again. They never thought you'd make it this far. They thought you were just another casualty in the game they were playing. They believed you were weak, too small to matter, too insignificant to change anything. They thought their whispers would be enough to keep you in the background, to keep you silent, to keep you invisible. But here you are, standing in the center of their world, a force they can't ignore. And now they scream your name, and they scream it not out of admiration, but because they know they've lost. They know that the whispers they once used to keep you in check have become the very thing that sealed their fate. It's not just that you survived, it's that you thrived. Every moment they tried to diminish you, every ounce of effort they spent trying to make you feel small, you turned it into something beautiful. You turned their hate into strength. You turned their doubt into fire. You took their mockery and used it to fuel your ascent. They thought you were nothing, but you were everything. They thought they could silence you, but you were the storm they never saw coming. And now, as they scream your name, they realize the truth. They were never in control, and they hate it. They hate that they underestimated you. They hate that they gave you the tools to become more than they could ever imagine. They thought they could crush you, break you into a million pieces, but instead they gave you the power to put yourself back together. Every time they tried to push you down, they didn't realize that you were learning. You were growing. You were becoming something greater than they could ever fathom. You were becoming a legend. And no matter how hard they tried to break you, they couldn't stop the inevitable. They couldn't stop your rise. Now they scream your name, and it's not out of reverence, it's out of desperation. They scream because they know they are powerless against you. They scream because they realize that their time has passed. The whispers they used to control you have now become the echoes of their own defeat. You didn't need their permission to rise. You didn't need their approval. All you needed was yourself. And now they are faced with the reality that the one they once thought was a joke is now the one calling the shots. The one who was once invisible is now the one they can't escape. They made their bed, and now they have to lie in it. You've become the force they can't reckon with, the power they thought they could tame, the storm they thought would pass them by. You are the living proof that they can never hold you down. And as they scream your name, as they feel the weight of your presence crushing them, remember this: you didn't come to make them happy. You didn't come to make them comfortable. You came to show them that you are everything they feared you would be, and more. You came to show them that you were never just another casualty. You came to prove to them that you were always the one in control. It's not their world anymore. They built their empire on lies and manipulation, thinking they could control everything. But they forgot one simple truth: no one can control you. No one can control what's meant to be. They tried to bury you, but instead they gave you the strength to rise from the ashes. They thought you were just another pawn in their game, but now you've taken their throne. You're not the one kneeling anymore. You're the one sitting at the head of the table, the one in charge, the one holding the power. And they scream your name, not out of respect, but because they know they can't stop you. They tried to make you small, but they only made you unstoppable. They tried to make you a whisper, but you became a roar. And now, as they scream your name in desperation, they know they are no match for the force you've become. They know they're nothing more than a footnote in your story. They thought you were a joke, but now you're the punchline. And every time they scream your name, it's a reminder that they were wrong. You were never their plaything. You were always the master of your own fate. You didn't need their validation. You didn't need their approval. You didn't need anything from them. All you needed was the strength inside you, the fire in your heart, the will to keep pushing forward, no matter what they threw at you. And now, as they scream your name, they realize that they've given you the greatest gift of all, the power to be exactly who you were always meant to be. They thought they could control you, but all they did was ignite the flame that would consume them. Now the world is yours. You've earned your place. You've proven them all wrong. And as they scream your name in defeat, remember this: you're not the one who's lost. You're not the one who's broken. You're not the one who's insignificant. You're the one who came back. You're the one who rose. You're the one who showed them exactly what you're capable of. And now they'll never forget your name. They'll scream it forever, because they'll never be able to escape the truth. You are unstoppable. You are a force they'll never be able to control. And they will always scream your name in fear, because they know you're the one they could never defeat.